Every single day, you trade hours of your life for money. You wake up early, you sit in traffic, you answer emails you don't want to answer, and at the end of it, money shows up in your account. But here's the question almost nobody asks. What is that money doing while you sleep? For most people, the answer is nothing. It just sits there, waiting to be spent. Today, I want to show you how to flip that, how to make your money work the night shift, so it's earning while you're resting, growing while you're living your life. This isn't about get-rich-quick schemes. It's about one simple shift in mindset that changes everything. Most of us are raised with one financial script. Go to school, get a job, work hard, get paid. That's active income. You do something, you get paid for it. The moment you stop working, the money stops coming. The problem? Active income has a hard ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day, and you can only trade so many of them. Now compare that to passive income, money that comes in whether you're working or not. Dividends, interest, rental income, business profits that don't require your daily involvement. The wealthy don't necessarily work more hours than everyone else. Often, they work fewer. What they've done differently is build systems where their money works instead of just their time. That's the shift, from trading hours for dollars to letting dollars generate more dollars, automatically, continuously, even while you sleep. Here's the concept that makes all of this possible. Compounding. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling compound interest one of the most powerful forces in finance. Whether he actually said that is debated, but the math backs up the sentiment. Compounding simply means your gains start generating their own gains. Let's say you invest money and it grows by a certain percentage in year 1. In year 2, you're not just earning on your original amount, you're earning on your original amount plus what it already grew. Year after year, that snowball effect builds momentum. The catch, compounding needs two things to really shine: time and consistency. Someone who starts investing small amounts in their 20s can end up with dramatically more than someone who starts investing larger amounts in their 40s, simply because the money had more years to compound. This is why the phrase, "let your money rest," is so accurate. You're not supposed to constantly touch it, panic sell it, or pull it out every time the market wobbles. You plant it, you let it sit, you let time do the heavy lifting. So where does this resting and growing actually happen? Let's go through a few common vehicles, not as personalized advice, but as categories worth understanding. 1. Savings and interest-bearing accounts. The most basic version, your money sits in an account and earns interest. It's low risk, but historically the growth is modest, often just enough to keep pace with or sometimes fall behind inflation. 2. Index funds and ETFs. Instead of picking individual stocks, you own a small slice of hundreds or thousands of companies at once. Historically, broad market indexes have grown over long time horizons, though there are no guarantees and downturns do happen. 3. Dividend-paying investments. Some companies share their profits directly with shareholders in the form of dividends, regular payouts just for holding the stock. Reinvested consistently, dividends can add a meaningful layer to long-term compounding. 4. Retirement accounts. Many countries offer tax-advantaged accounts specifically designed for long-term growth, like a 401k or IRA in the US. These often include tax benefits that can accelerate how efficiently your money compounds over decades. 5. Real estate. Property can generate rental income while also potentially appreciating in value over time, though it requires more capital and active management than the options above. The specific vehicle matters less than the principle. Money that's invested tends to work harder than money that just sits idle in a low-yield account or under your mattress. Here's something counterintuitive. One of the biggest threats to growing your money isn't a market crash. It's you checking your portfolio every day. Constant checking leads to emotional decisions. Emotional decisions lead to selling low out of fear or buying high out of excitement. Both wreck long-term returns. The investors who tend to do well over decades aren't the ones glued to charts. They're the ones who set up a plan, automate it, and then largely leave it alone, checking in periodically, not obsessively. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't dig it up every week to check if the roots are growing. You water it, you give it sunlight, and you let time do what time does. That's what letting your money rest really means. Not neglect, intentional patience. You don't need a lot of money to start. You need a system. Here's a simple starting framework. 1. Build a small safety cushion first, so you're not forced to pull invested money out in an emergency. 2. Automate a consistent contribution, even a small, regular amount, so growth becomes a habit, not a one-time event. 3. Choose long-term vehicles over short-term speculation. 4. Reinvest your earnings instead of cashing them out. This is where compounding really kicks in. 5. Review periodically, not obsessively. Quarterly or annually is often enough. Small, consistent, automated. That's the formula. Your time is limited, but money, when you set it up right, doesn't get tired. It doesn't need a day off. It just keeps working, resting, and growing long after you've stopped thinking about it. If this gave you a new way to look at your money, hit subscribe for more videos like this, and drop a comment. What's one small step you're going to take this week to let your money start working for you? I'll see you in the next one.